Hey Lou, how you doing? Hello, hello. Is that Katarsha? Hey S Marie, how y'all doing? Hey Marietta, how you doing? I'm doing pretty good. Just watching videos. Okay. Hi Monica, how are you? That's good. It's good to see you guys this evening. Hey brother Glenn, how you doing? Thank you. Hey Kwee, how are you? Hey Trace, how you doing? This may not be long, you guys. Okay. Hi Cheryl, I'm good. How are you? Hey Reese, how are you? Nilla Jean, nothing much. Feeling a little emotional. Just got out of Bible study. Okay. Hey Jamila, how you doing? Hey May, how are you? Uh, hey Sugar Cookie, how you doing? This is my original channel. This is the original channel. Hi Seasons, how are you? That's wonderful. I'm doing pretty good. Well, I'm gonna see. Corey! Hey nephew, how you doing, Nazir? I hope he's not eating. Hi Regina. I'm good. I'm just a little emotional, but I'm good. But I wanted to come. I came to this channel because this is my original channel, right? And I've talked to a few people today about this, but I wanted to come and just talk about it here, okay? Because this is my original channel. And a lot of things about our life has been brought to you guys on this channel, right? So, all of you know that at one point, my son Corey was diagnosed with kidney cancer. He was 3 years old when we found out, and that was in 2013, I believe it was. And it was a kind of cancer. It was stage 3, I believe it was, 3 or 4 at the time. He did 13 weeks of chemotherapy and 4 days of radiation. And this is for anybody that's new to the channel that don't know this, okay? During the time, he developed learning disabilities. Hey, Tia. And he, thank you, learning disabilities, and he's been diagnosed with mild to moderate autism, okay? He has come a long way. Since then, before the cancer, he's had several surgeries. He's had surgery after the cancer he had 9 teeth removed. I'm just telling y'all this as a background, okay? He's had tubes put in his ears several times. He's had his adenoids out. He's had his tonsils out. He's had um, he had the port put in and taken out. He's had surgery on his male parts, and just a lot of going to the hospital, a lot of going back and forth. And then he has the severe food allergies, and the food allergies have not gotten any better. So that's just a little bit of what he's had to deal with. Now for me, as his mother, I fought myself, okay, because I thought I was doing everything right. I thought it was all my fault, at some point. But during the treatment, you know, and that's one of those things I just never wanted to, or wanted to deal with. No person wants to have to deal with that, right? But during the process, we took him and found out that he had a mass on his left kidney. And they admitted him into the hospital and did a biopsy and put the port in the next day. This was after going to the emergency room. So me watching my son grow up until the age of 3, I saw him. Corey was like, he could read chapter books. He knew all of his, no, he could count. He knew things that even at 1 and 2 years old, he knew these things like a 4 or 5 year old would at 1 and 2 years old. And so after him being diagnosed, and we found out indeed that he had kidney cancer, which is called Wilms tumor, okay? I don't know how I felt, but I know that a lot of things happened during that time, him having to take chemotherapy and then radiation, and watching my son change before my eyes. Hey, Shay. I'm saying this for anyone that may not know the struggles that go in it, okay? Some of it. Because I can tell you our journey was nothing like some other parents who's still dealing with their children having some form of illness that can possibly be terminal, okay? I remember someone asking me, is it terminal? And I hadn't thought about that. And it devastated me to the point where I was in public and I was sobbing like somebody had just told me someone passed away. And it just was all of these emotions, and I feel like I just went into a numbness stage that I just had to go. I know I had nothing else to do but to go with it. He did 13 weeks of chemotherapy and 4 days of radiation. I watched him cry. I watched him be a big boy, encouraging the nurses when he knew they had to do things that would hurt him. And I had to stand there and watch that. And that little bit of faith of just going with the flow, I never realized just the magnitude at that time. And it has been a journey, okay? Life has been a journey. So after him doing the 13 weeks of chemo and 4 days of radiation, we were getting ready for surgery. He had to have a CAT scan to see what changes had been made as far as the treatments. Well, we went to see the doctor and she told us that within 6 weeks, the tumor grew larger. It grew back. So what the chemo had done had shrank. Within 6 weeks, it grew back, and she couldn't explain it. That was devastating to me. And all I could hear was, are you going to do that? Are you going to fall apart, Teresa? Or are you going to trust me? I'm in the backseat of the car and just tears just falling after talking to the doctor. And to hear the doctor say, I can't explain it. I've never seen it in my 30 plus years of doing this. There was a part of me that was just like, okay, God, you know, it's something coming out of this. It's for a reason. Like when it's unexplainable, God has something planned for this. God is doing something. He's showing something. Okay. But then there was that human, my fleshly part of me that was just in disbelief and just, I ain't gonna say heartbroken, but just like, what do we do now? You know, what do he have to go through now? And on top of that, another monkey wrench was thrown in our program. When we got ready to take him to the hospital to have his kidney removed and the mass removed, they canceled the surgery because one of the machines that they were going to use was not working. So then the flesh part of me kicked in and began to be negative. So we had to start over the next day. We went, checked into the hospital, and, you know, his process was they had to give him medicine to clean him out. Well, it just was a mess with that. And I had to step in and tell him, you know, no more of that. Y'all gonna have to figure out something. We'll make a long story short. They took the tumor out, and he doesn't have but one kidney. They informed me later that they took some of his lymph nodes out in different places also. He has a stent in his chest, if y'all don't know, that leads to his heart. And that's one reason why he has to constantly see, ever so often, a heart specialist and have CT scans and all of this kind of stuff. Like, but you know, that part of society that looks at you and consider you to be a bad mother is something that you didn't do. You know, what did you do that caused your child to be like this? When he started losing his teeth started rotting. They started getting rotten during the chemotherapy sessions, because chemo rots your teeth in adults and children. But he was still sucking on a bottle. And that was for his comfort, because the tumor was so big, it was laying on his stomach. He couldn't hardly get anything in. But chewing on that rubber on that nipple, it gave him comfort. And how I found out was the night that we took him to the hospital, they gave him medicine to put him to sleep, to have a CT scan, and he fought it off. The medicine did not work. I couldn't believe it. The doctors was like, I've never seen nothing like it, and we can't give him any more medicine. He fought it off. He would not go to sleep. And I said, well, do y'all have an empty baby bottle? And the lady went and brought me one, and I gave it to him, and he started to chew on it. And it relaxed him so that he dozed off to sleep. So once he dozed off to sleep, the medicine kicked in, and they were able to, he was only in there 5 minutes. But they did the CAT scan and brought him out, and that's when we found out about the mass. So that's when I realized, well, not at that moment, but I knew that it was a comfort for him. But later on down the line, I realized that every time I tried to take the bottle from him, and he would cry. And I got mad with myself every time I fussed at him. No, you can't have that. You're too big. It's, you know, that fleshly part of you. But not knowing that was the only way my son was able to get nourishment, y'all. That was his comfort because of what he was feeling in his body. Like, I didn't know. Hey, Cousin Kia. I didn't know. So I sit back and I reflect on a lot of things. And I'm emotional today, you guys, because today, okay, Corey is 12 years cancer-free today. 12 years cancer-free today. And in 2 days, he will turn 16 if it's God's will. And I watch him, and I reflect back to how chemo changed him, how he forgot everything that he knew. He used to play the piano by ear, not having to read sheet music. Who can read sheet music at 2 and 3 years old? All of the things that, there were some good and some bad things that were wiped away, okay? Watching my son have a conversation with people, and then all of a sudden he won't talk to people. Like, he was so outgoing. He was so energetic at one point in his life. And to see him not even want to say hello to people. Not, he can't look at people. To see how he changed after that, y'all. Like, but there were some good things, you know? And to see him now, to watch him go through school and find out that he had hearing problems, to find out that he developed learning disabilities, speech impediments. He developed so many things after chemo. And I get it. People will tell you, try the natural way. But that stuff is so expensive. And all I had was to trust God in it, y'all. Because That would be like the woman with the issue of blood. I'm trying to raise money. It was like, well, can you get a loan to get the money for the treatment? No, I can't. And I had to remember, I had to say, but you know, if that was my plan, if that was the plan God had for me, I would not have to do all of that. I would not have to do all of that. I wouldn't have to try to get a mortgage to do all of that. If that was God's plan for me right this minute, I won't have to do all of that. And even though chemo and radiation, it damages other parts of the body, but God heals and he sets free. So my son is now in the stage of rediscovery. He's learning to communicate with people. He's learning not to be so shy. He's learning to express himself and to pay attention to how he feels. It takes him a minute to get his thoughts together. You can't ask him a question and he answer right off. He has to think about it. So I'm watching all of these things, but God, y'all, he's an AB honor roll student in 9th grade. And he was so afraid of going to high school. He was so afraid because he didn't know what it meant. He was so afraid, and now he just do. He don't go anywhere like that. He's always with us. And I know people can say that can be a hindrance for him. But in due time, y'all, in due time. In due time. But I'm so proud of him. I thank God so much. My heart goes out to the parents who did not have the results that we did with our son. Those that are still taking chemotherapy and radiation and having surgeries and being hooked to this and hooked to that. My heart goes out to them because that's a horrible feeling. It's a horrible feeling. It really is. And I know, y'all, the body is going to deteriorate. We don't want it to. We don't want it to. We want to be strong. We want to be healthy. We want to just do magnificent things in life all the time, and we can. But sometimes when you start off slow and things don't go your way, you kind of get a little cynical. And I've changed an awful lot. But I sit back and I think about how good God is to me in spite of my faults, in spite of my days when I don't trust him, in spite of my days when I'm just negative, in spite of days when I don't do as I'm supposed to, in spite of how good he is, how good he's been to all of us. I don't deserve it. None of us deserves it. But I've tried to tell my story day by day, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I remember being on this channel and uploading videos and being live and talking to people and realizing that there are people all over the world that was experiencing something in their family that we were experiencing, but was not getting the help that we got. So there was information, there was things that I was going through, that we were going through in this family, that I was able to share with other people to help them through their journey. And meeting people that came to support us, giving words of encouragement, watching the videos, just really fellowshipping with us, and find out they have cancer or their mother has cancer or something like that. My best friend mother had cancer, but she was not able to take chemo the way chemo the way that Corey did. Her body couldn't tolerate it. And I remember before she passed away, she told me, I took Corey to see her one day, and she just cried, and she said, hey, Danny Boo, she said, that gives me, Corey, you give me strength. Hey, T-Kind, Corey, you give me strength because I watch you take chemotherapy. And I say to myself, When those days get hard, if Corey can do it, I can do it. But yet we as adults sometimes don't think we can get inspiration from children or someone younger than us. He's so loving, y'all. He's such a good boy. Is he without faults? No. But I thank God for using me to be his mother. I never thought that I would be dealing with something like this, you know? But I can see how God prepared me in a way because I started working with special needs children. I started working with children with certain types of disabilities in my life. And I didn't know that it was going to lead me down this path to where not only did I have a child that was born premature, hey, Virginia, which was Jaylen. And then I have a child that had, well, even before Jaylen, I had a child that was born, her eyesight didn't develop, Janae, or her hearing. She was born early, but was not considered a preemie because of her birth weight. So there were weeks and weeks that Janae couldn't see or hear. And you fight, hey, you girls, see, and you fought yourself for that. I did. Like, what could I have done, differently? Besides take my vitamins and eat, eat right. And it reflects back, it takes me back to nothing. Nothing. Then there was, after Janae, then there was Jaylen, born as a preemie, 2 pounds, 1 ounce. She had a lot going on. She was in the hospital 3 months. And she's now in her 20s. For 25 years, and my own sister with special needs, she has gone to be with the Lord now at the age 64. Look at God. And then comes Corey, and all of the things that he's gone through. So I hope and pray that someone come across this video or one of our past videos of his doctor's treatments or his doctor visits and his treatments, and they get inspiration from it, that they get a little hope that when you come and you follow his journey and see that he's here, but not without challenges. Not without challenges, but he's here. And he's growing. I don't know if he's asleep. Corey! I don't want him to see me crying because it'll make him emotional. Come here, bud. Come sit and talk to me for a minute. How you doing?
I'm fine.
Here he is, y'all. So, I was talking to everybody about your news for today. About you being 12 years cancer-free.
Oh,
And what a blessing it is. How does that make you feel to hear that? Do you feel any kind of way?
I just feel really glad.
You feel really glad? Yeah. Oh, thank you. Anything else you want to say? They saying, hey, Corey.
Hey guys.
Look at him. Remember little hey baby. He's big hey baby now. He don't say that no more, but he's buddy now. That's what I call him, buddy. Right? You my buddy? Yeah. Okay, somebody say, I remember the first video I watched. You were doing a grocery haul and Corey was reading. I was like, oh, that little small boy is a strong reader. Yes. They say you're so handsome, bud.
Oh, thank you.
I wish I could hug that. Oh, thank you, Tia. But I wanted to ask you, I just wanted to bring you in and ask you, how did you feel about it? Knowing that God healed you and he's brought you through a lot of things. Do you realize you've had 9 surgeries?
9?
You've had 9 surgeries. Do you remember when you had surgery and they pulled all your teeth out? You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
They pulled 9 of your teeth out. at once. 9.
9?
Mm-hmm. Do you remember the times they used to put you to sleep and you would have your CAT scans? Do you remember those?
Right.
What about the times that you've had tubes put in your ears? Do you remember those surgeries? Being put in the hospital? No?
Oh, I think I do.
What about when they took your tonsils and your adenoids out? Do you remember that? Yeah. So you've been through a lot, bud. And it's by the grace of God. And I want you to always hold on to God, okay? If you don't trust nobody, trust God. And you stay in His Word. You read His Word. And you apply it to your life. And you be obedient to what He say. He's been good, baby. He's been very good to you. He's good to all of us. And just look, if you let society tell you what you should and should not eat, the little things that you do eat, some of that stuff is not healthy for you, right? Which is basically what the noodles, right? But every time you go and you have an exam, they say what? You're growing. You're doing well. All your blood work is good. And you know God has got to know that you are limited in the things that you can eat. And there's a scripture in the Bible that tells you, don't worry about. Basically, I'm paraphrasing, but he's saying you don't really have to worry about the food that you put in your mouth, right? Because the body was made to cleanse it, to cleanse your food that you eat, for it to nourish your body. But you have to worry about what you let come out your mouth, what you say, because what you say has power. So be careful what you say to people. Be careful what you say about yourself. Mama struggled with that. Okay? So always be quick to listen to what God say. So when he say you shouldn't be mean and say meanful and hurtful things, be quick to listen to that and meditate on it. Then you be slow to let something negative come out your mouth. So they'll say there's this, always season your words with salt, because think about it. When your daddy make you French fries, if they don't have salt on them, they don't taste good, do it? They nasty, they bland, right? Right? Yeah.
I mean,
If they don't have salt on them or any kind of seasoning, how do they taste?
they taste fine.
Without salt? Okay. Now, when you add salt or either seasoning salt, do it taste better? So
Yes.
just imagine your words come out and they're seasoned with love and kindness. That's what it means by seasoning your words with salt. There should be love and kindness in your words and positivity in your words, not negativity. Okay? Now, when it comes to your food, you can put too much salt on it and it can actually ruin your food. But when there's no such thing as putting too much love and kindness on something. It only makes things better. Okay? But just know, give me a hand. No, I'm proud of you, bud. I love you so, so much. You have grown to be such a smart, handsome, loving young man, and I want you to stay that way. Do not conform to the world. Don't start doing the things the world do and acting the way the world do, because that's not what God intends for us. Okay? I'm so proud of you. You're in the ninth grade and you're making A's and B's. Keep pushing, keep doing right, keep doing good, because that benefits you, son. You. That helps you to grow into a God fearing man and to be diligent about taking care and doing right. That's called living righteous. When you do right by people, you say good things, you treat people right. That's a righteous life. And that is what God wants us to do. Okay? I know that's a lot that I'm saying, but you know, Mama always talk to you every now and then. But what an amazing, amazing blessing you have today to be 12 years later and you are still cancer free. You continue to tell God, thank you every day. Thank you for healing me. Thank you for strengthening me. Thank you for wisdom, Lord. You thank Him for your food. You thank Him for the gifts. You thank Him for the air you breathe. You thank Him for movement in your limbs, because children your age somewhere in this world are not able to do that. They're not able to feed themselves. They're not able to hear or see. So you always tell God, thank you for every single blessing that He has given you. Okay? And you try your best to honor Him with your life by doing good. Okay? He knows we're not going to always make the right decisions. He knows we're not going to always, we're going to fall sometimes. But you learn from your mistakes and try not to do them again. And you always ask God to help you. When you're taking a test and you're not quite sure, you ask God for help before you start. You pray and talk to God and tell Him how you feel. God, I'm nervous about this. Help me. I can't do it without you. Okay? You keep Him first in everything. When you start your day, ask God to help you complete your assignments. Okay? All right? All
Okay.
right. So anything you want to say to the people that's watching? No? I put you on the spot, don't I? Yeah. If you don't have anything to say, it's okay. But I wanted to share your journey. And here it is 12 years later. 2 days before you turn what, bud?
16.
How you feel about turning 16? You don't know yet?
I'm just surprised.
You just surprised? You think you ready to drive a car?
I mean, I'm not sure about that.
It's okay. It's quite all right. You don't have to. Not right now. But if in the future you feel like you're ready to learn how to drive, you just tell daddy, okay? Or you tell me. Or you tell Janae. Or Ashley. And if Jaylen and me are driving, then you tell them too, okay? We all here to help you, no matter what. You got us, but you got God first. So anything that you want to do that's good and right, you always ask God to help you. He ain't going to help you do nothing wrong. That's the devil. Okay? All right. When I was taking college classes, I prayed over every assignment and stayed on the dean's list because of that. Laugh out loud, because I'm definitely an airhead most of the time. No, Kia. Prayer works, okay? You struggle, but you are so patient with all of your babies, even though some days outweigh the bad. Don't ever forget that. You and Uncle G. Thank you, Tia. You're my baby too. Hope you doing well. Oh, thank y'all. Here's your personal miracle. That's what I call my strength. Those are our proofs that God is amazing. And you know what? He's not the only one. Hi, Keisha. Just look at Jaylen. Weighed 2 pounds, 1 ounce. Born at 26 weeks. Was in the hospital 3 months. She caught RSV in the hospital. She was on the respirator for 13, was it 12 days? 12 or 13 days. She was on a ventilator, breathing for her. And for 10 days, I believe, 10 days she was on that ventilator. 10. And I remember the day G and I went in to visit her one night, and we locked hands like this and laid them on her chest. She was laying on her back like that, and we laid our hands on on her chest, and we prayed. We said a prayer. And that was the first time, because I was at the head of her bed. So I'm looking down at her like this, but they had a blanket across her head so you couldn't see her eyes. And just that day, and they had her arms stretched out, tied to the bed like this. She couldn't move her arms or anything. And her head was turned like this, like she was on the cross, y'all. I promise y'all. And there was a blanket across her eyes to hold to keep her from moving her head so she wouldn't pull the tube out. And I was at the head of her bed, and me and Galen, well, not really at the head, I was like to the side, and we put our hands on her, and I started to pray. And after the prayer, me standing there, and I looked down, and she was doing like this. That was the Lord giving me a sign that she was awake. Because those 10 days, those 9 days, well, 10 days, because at that point she was still on it, I thought she was asleep. I thought they had her in a medically induced coma. It broke my heart. I asked the nurse, I said, ma'am, is she awake? She said, yeah, she's always been awake. And it killed me because I didn't know she was awake. Because I would go and I would stand there in silence until we started to pray. Or if I would ask, because I didn't want to wake her up, you know. I would ask questions to the nurse or the doctor, whatever, and she would hear my voice. But it broke my heart. I said, oh my God, I didn't know my baby was awake. But that was God's way of showing me that she was awake. And I could see her eyelash was so long, you could see it doing like that. And sure enough, that night, they changed shifts after 12 midnight. And the nurse called me. And she said, I have good and bad news. And I got sick instantly. I said, well, what's the bad news? She said, Jaylen extubated herself. Now, if her hands are tied down to the bed like this, and they got a receiving blanket folded in half that's across her head, and it's tucked under the mattress. They had things tied around her hand, and it was tucked under the mattress of her bed. How did she pull that tube out of her mouth? Nobody but God, y'all, I'm telling you. And I say she extubated herself. She said, yeah, she pulled out her ventilator tube. She said, but the good thing is we didn't have to put it back in because she was now breathing on her own. And she couldn't breathe on her own. And I said, oh my God, are you serious? She was like, yeah. She said, and all she's getting is oxygen in her nose. So I would go see her, and she was doing good. And I remember being at work a couple of days after that, and I got a phone call from the insurance company. And they said, congratulations, I hear Jaylen's coming home. And I was like, what? I didn't know that. And they said, yeah, she's coming home. I just left the hospital, and they said she's coming home. Right. So I said, she said, well, ma'am, hang up the phone and call the hospital. I did. And the head neonatologist at the hospital, her name was Dr. Lim. She was 4 foot tall, y'all. Little, but she was full of spunk. And she always walked with her hands behind her back like that. And she talked to me, and she said, yes, she's coming home tomorrow. And she just told me everything that I needed to do. At this point, we didn't know if she was coming home on a CPAP machine or what. Or the one for apnea and Brady's. You know, when she stopped breathing, because some kids that are preemies, they come home like that. And they can't be left alone at all. So we had to have CPR classes. We had to learn how to take care of her and how to work the machine. We had to learn all of that. So at this point, I'm freaking out. Because for one, I had nothing for her. No diapers, no clothes, no socks, no bed, no nothing. Because she came early. I didn't get to have a baby shower. Nothing. And that day, hey, sexy chocolate, I just started to cry. And my boss was like, what's the matter? I said, they said Jaylen's coming home tomorrow, which was it was a mixed emotions. I said, but I have nothing. I had nothing for her but a car seat, because she had to have something called car seat therapy before she could leave the hospital. That means she got to be able to sit in the car seat, not on a ventilator or anything, and be able to keep her heart rate and her breathing not change and keep her body temperature. So with that being said, they were like, who's going to be her caregiver? Because with her immune system being the way that it is, she can't be around a lot of people. And here I am freaking out. I got to work. I didn't have no benefits. I was making $8 an hour for 3 hours and $10 an hour for 4 hours. That Monday through Friday. Barely making any. I was making some money, Lord, thank you. But that's where I was. And I'm like, I don't have any benefits. I don't have any paid days off. Nothing that I can claim. And so I said that my boss heard me say, well, I don't know who's going to take care of her. I don't know at this point because I have to work. I don't know what I'm going to do. And she asked me, she said, so what has to be done? She said, I'll take care of her. Now, I was working at a child care center. And my boss said, I'll take care of her. I said, you will? She was like, yes. And I said, well, my boss said she'll take care of her. She said, well, I need to speak to her. So the doctor talked to my boss, gave her a list, a whole rundown of do's, don'ts, no maybes, okay? And she agreed. And sure enough, I'm just like, wow, I was blown away. And she said, well, I'll be back. Because at that point, she was going to do the bus run. That means pick up the school kids and bring them back to the daycare center. The before and after school kids. Well, that's not what she did. She left and went to Walmart. And back then, Walmart used to have bags big as me. He was, Keish. Oh, my God, he was. Came back with a bag big as me. 2 of them. Hey, sis. Full of diapers, clothes, wipes, bottles, pacifiers, just some stuff. And I just instantly started sobbing. I said, she said, don't say anything. She said, here. She had so much stuff, y'all. Now, let me tell you how good and strategic God is. Okay? After that, oh, Nikki, what a blessing. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for sharing that. I hope you continue to do well, sweet pea. So, after Jaylen came home, so the day she came home, well, I went home that night and they told me you're going to have to clean. Everything has got to be sterile. I went home, baby, and I got into mode. I pulled out every single thing. I washed everything on the beds. I wiped walls, sterilized, bleach, alcohol, everything that I could. Put pillows in the dryer to sterilize them, all kinds of things. We didn't tell the kids that she was coming home. So we went and picked her up, and we brought her home. We didn't tell anybody. And so Galen played a trick. He went to the front door because Ashley would get out of school early, and she had a key. So he met Ashley at the door. He was like, why did you leave all this stuff in my bed like this? And she was like, what, Daddy? What? I didn't have that. Yes, you did. You left all this stuff. Go see that stuff out. Go get all that mess you put in my bed out. So she came back there and she walked in the room and there was Jaylen laying in the bed. She started bawling and screaming because they saw Jaylen one time in the hospital and they all freaked out. They freaked out. They had never seen anything like that because you could see through her skin. Her eyelids, her eyes weren't quite formed, Not like, she didn't look like a baby that was ready to be born because you could literally see through her skin. Her toenails, her fingernails just looked like a little dot on her hand. Her toes looked like they were still webbed together, but she would move them every now and then. Like, she was so little. She was 13 inches long, y'all, and her head was the size of a lemon. And so when the kids saw her, they got scared and they started to cry. They couldn't see her. They was like, Mama, we can't. It scared them. So the whole 3 months she was in the hospital, they saw her one time. So when Ashley walked in and she saw her, she freaked out and she just started bawling and she wanted to pick her up. I said, now, you can't pick her up until you take a bath. Every day you come home, you got to get out of your clothes, take a bath, because she's got to be in a sterile environment. Because having that RSV in the hospital and being a preemie, her immune system was not what it should be. She went and got in that shower and came back, and she just had a moment. Well, before we brought her home, we went straight to my mom's house. And I said, Mom, I got something for you. And I walked in and I said, hold your hands out. And she held a hand out. And Galen was behind me, and he handed Jaylen to me. And we put Jaylen in her hands, and she just cried. Now, she did go to the hospital and see Jaylen one time. And that was hard on her as well. Because my mom, she put her hand in the incubator, right? And Jaylen was balled up in a knot. And she said, I can't, because she couldn't see. My mama, she's legally blind. She's blind in one eye and legally in the other. And she said, well, where is she? So I said, Mama, just put your hand in the incubator like this. She held her hand out. And Jaylen took her right foot and stuck it out like that and laid it in my mama's hand. And my mama jumped. She was like, what is that? Oh my gosh, what is that? I said, Mama, that's her foot. And she started crying. She said, well, why is it so little? And because it did not feel like a baby, okay? So she was touching her little foot with her thumb and stuff. And Jaylen just laid there with her foot in her hand just like that. And then she started moving her toes, and it kind of felt freaky. But that was her first experience with Jay. And so, God has shown me so many ways of who he is and how strategic he is in spite of situations, how he worked things out. Jaylen came home, and she was there 3 months, and she is now in her 20s. The same with Janae being born at, what was it, 32 weeks she was born at. But she was 5 pounds, 10 ounces. And they did not consider her to be a preemie. The only thing was her sight and her eyesight and her hearing wasn't developed. But everything else was fine. So they let her go home. And I used to have to take her back for exams to see if it was going to develop. And it did. But she had some struggles over the years with her hearing. She had tubes put in as well. And she had problems with her eyesight. She still had problems. She got to wear real thick glasses, And each one of those, God has used me to bring these children into this world. And the obstacles, and I just thank him for what he's done. He's done so many good things in spite of, y'all. And that's all I ever wanted to do with this channel, was bring positivity and know that I'm flawed, and just everyday life, how it can be and how you push through. And it didn't come out that way all the time, and it was not my intention to do anything harmful to anybody, or to be greedy or anything like that, because I was not expecting any of it, not even starting a YouTube channel. I opened a YouTube channel to watch a video that my kids created. And I started watching after that. I used to be into hair really good. I used to love doing hair and cooking. And that's what I used to do. Watch people get dressed. And I used to watch this lady, One Sexy Tina, would create clothes to wear and do her hair. And she would cook, vlog as a mom and a wife. And I used to watch her and a lot of other women. And it was just, it just was the thing to do. It was amazing to me to be able to see this kind of stuff happens, but to have a platform that you can watch people and you can learn. And then I made a video one day, because on Facebook, I used to post things about clothing, hair, and stuff like that. And this company called Hair All reached out to me. They were from California, and they sent me some bundles of hair. And they wanted me to do a review on it. But they said, you got to upload a video to YouTube. And at that time, I didn't know how to do that. But I had to learn. But I did it. I showed myself doing my hair. I uploaded the video. And then it went on from there. And I made a video encouraging someone that even though they were going through some things, to just keep fighting, because people have opinions about your life. And, you can't live for other folks. In a way. And then I made a video about me being adopted and some of the struggles that I had being adopted and watching my parents go about life, and I felt like I was somebody else's child. You know what I'm saying? I went through a lot, and I shared that video. And back then, YouTube used to have an inbox, like Instagram has an inbox, and like Facebook has Messenger. And um, I had woke up and I had like 40 messages one day, and it was just from women saying I needed to hear that. It makes me feel good to know that I'm not the only one struggling with being adopted. Because growing up, they made you feel like being adopted was one of those horrible things, because they used to call you what, bastard kids. And so just some of the things that I shared, and the messages I would get from women, and the connections that were being made, and it just made me feel like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. Like, it's okay to talk about how screwed up you are, or how this, that, and the other. It's okay. And that's exactly what I did. And at some point it went downhill. That's when I realized that not everybody see you for who you really are. They take bits and pieces. But it was hurtful to me. And it devastated me, because I've never been that negative kind of person. Like, I didn't wish bad on nobody, no matter what. Like, I always want to see people win. I always want to, and it hurts me to my heart to see somebody cry, or to do without, or not have something, because if I got it, I'm going to give it to you. Like, I just want to make everybody day go well, not to please them, but just to help in some sort of way. Like, that is just a true passion on me. Like, I cannot explain it. And then I started getting all kind of negativity, and it did something to me, because I'm like, where is this coming from? Not that I hadn't received negativity in life, because I had. And I'm like, okay, I thought I had left that part behind me as a young person. Now I'm an adult with my own family, and I don't have to do certain things. I could just be me. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And at some point, I gave up. At some point, I gave up on this channel. I stopped doing the grocery hauls. I stopped cooking. And it wasn't just because of that. It was a lot of stuff that I was dealing with personally, mentally, emotionally. Like, it was a whole lot of stuff. Stuff that wasn't dealt with when I was a child, and even as an adult. And, just my self-esteem. And it just was a whole lot. Y'all, I was a mess. I'm still a mess. And I just gave up. And then when I started sharing Corey's journey, and it went left after that, it just was hurtful, because I'm still, no matter what's going on in y'all life, I'm still over here having to take my son to chemotherapy and watch them hook him to this thing with this. He had this port in his chest, and they have to stick this needle down in there, you know? And I had to lay there. I had to make him lay there. Hey, Marty. And to deal with that, because it was for his own good. Hey, Teami boo. I had to give him certain medicines that I knew he didn't like. I had to take him to have CAT scans and x-rays and echocardiograms. And before every visit, he had to have his blood drawn. He had to have his temperature taken, because if anything was off, he could not get his treatment. It was a ride, y'all. Like, y'all have no idea. If you've never dealt with anybody that has that, you don't know what they deal with every day. Before you can get your chemo medicine, you have to have your whole vital signs, everything done. Urine, blood, they have to take your temperature. They have to do all of that stuff. And if your temperature is off by even 2 numbers, you can't get it. For him, his medicine had to be made on the spot. There was nothing you can just go to go to the pharmacy to get. That chemo medication is made per person. Okay? He had, let me see if I got it. Vincristine, doxorubicin, and doctinomycin. Those were the 3 chemo medicines that he had to take. And one of them, y'all, was red as a fire engine. And it had to be given through a slow drip through IV. The other ones was given to him through his port with a syringe. And eventually they stopped doing that and was giving him everything through the other way. But that one, I don't remember the name of it. I don't know, remember which one it was. But that one, it used to hang in the medicine bag. And I could sit there and I could remember saying, that's the blood of Jesus. The blood of Jesus that's going to wash him clean. It was just that red. The blood of Jesus that's going to wash him clean. And it did. It washed him clean. All the bad habits, Corey, because he used to love 2 Chainz. Used to cuss like a sailor. That blood washed him clean. That medicine washed him clean. So now he has a fresh start. He may not be as active and as outgoing as some other children, but he is God's just like we all are. And I'm hoping that I can do right by him as his mother to teach him the way that he should go. The same with my other children. You know what I mean? Have I done exactly what I'm supposed to? No. Okay. But that, when I tell you, that was a journey. Even the people that we met, you know, it was amazing for me because the people that would come visit him in the hospital and all the other children up there, you had the military would come visit and bring gifts. You had people that, young teenage girls that were actually sick themselves and was living in the hospital at this point because they couldn't go home. That's how sick they were. They were living. One girl was at the end of the hallway and she had the corner room. And she had been there for months, like 8 months. That was her room. She had it decorated like her home. And some people live at the hospital like that. And just the gifts that they would drop off. And you know, one of the things that got to me, y'all, and maybe I'm extra, but some things just really meant something to me. One was the hedge of protection that was placed around each child's room every morning. And what I mean by the hedge of protection is in the doorway of each child's room, the entire team, doctors, nurses, all of them, they will make a circle. This end of the door, they will make a circle to meet to the other end. So they would surround the room. And the parents would stand in the doorway facing them. And they would stand there. They would have their computers, whatever. And they would go over that child's medical history, any visits, vital signs, this, that, and the other. And they would talk about it amongst themselves. They would give us the information that we needed. They would ask us questions. Do you have any questions? If there was somebody there visiting, they would ask them to come out. If you have any questions that we can answer for you, don't hesitate to ask. And they would stand there as long as you needed them to answer every single question that you had, to make sure that you are at ease and that you're not stressed out about anything. I love that. I love that. And not only did they care for my son, but they care for my whole family. So those days that my kids stayed up there at that hospital with us, they fed us. They had a refrigerator in the room that they stocked full of stuff. So whatever they gave, Corey, they gave for all of us. Jaylen and Mia would be at my mom's house some days, and some days they would be with us up there. When I was there with him by myself, I had a nurse. She made sure that I ate every day. She would let me go into the nurse's lounge and get breakfast. She wouldn't even let me spend my money. She was like, I'll stay here with him. It's right across the hall. You go in there and you get anything you want. It's like little things like that. Sometimes you miss God's blessing. Like, I know everybody may not get that same treatment. Hey, my glow. But these are some of the things, the God winks. It's a show about God winks. These are God winks that I had that I can testify and see how God moved. It's not just a coincidence. These are strategic things that God did. The people that I met on YouTube that would literally call the hospital to talk to us or to talk to me, to encourage me. MKB lady and oh my gosh, I can't think of her name. Oh, I can't think of her name. They literally called the hospital to talk to me, to encourage me, to check in. And it meant something to me. The people that will reach out behind the scenes, you know? And that meant more than money, y'all, because you could spend money and it be gone just like that. But that's what people thought that I really wanted, was money. I want my son to be okay. Because I don't know what this is. I don't know what this road is going to be like. I don't know what this journey is going to be like. I don't know if he's going to get well. I don't know what medicine. I don't know what surgery. I didn't know anything. They can't tell you that. All they can tell you is that your child has been diagnosed with Wilms tumor, stage 3 cancer. It's his left kidney. There's a mass on his kidney. And that thing was this big, y'all. Can you imagine that in a 3-year-old? And and it hurt me because we used to call him big, you know, like look at him walk around with a little pot belly like a little deacon. That was that thing in his stomach. Corey used to love his greens. He used to eat green beans, corn. One of his favorite meats was steak and gravy and mashed potatoes. He used to love that. He eats none of that now. But y'all see how big he is? He eats none of that. All the vegetables that they tell you need to eat every day, all Corey eats is greens. Collards, turnips, mustards, kale. That's mixed together. That's all he eat. That's the only vegetable that he'll eat. He don't eat green beans, lettuce, none of that. Carrots, potatoes. Now he eat potatoes and french fries. He'll eat a chicken leg fried. Oh, y'all, my allergies. But I've been very long-winded about this. 62 minutes. But I came to share what those of you that are new in my channel that was not here when he had his journey with all of that, even the trip that they gave him, that they gave our family for a whole week. They paid for us to go to Orlando and just do whatever we wanted to do. We didn't have to spend a dime. Everything was paid for us. They gave us money to spend. They rented us a vehicle when we already had one. They would not let us drive our own vehicle. Like, these are the things that I know that God provided, because human beings don't want to do that for you. Child, please. Hey, D Green. Only people that are really in touch with God will give until it hurts. Give because they can. Give because they understand. God will use people. I'm here to tell you. And when I tell you, all of us, all 6 of my children, me and my husband, went to Orlando, stayed in a village for kids with illnesses for an entire week. We had breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks every day. Ice cream, pizza delivered to the house for free. Everything. They had left a gift for Corey every morning. They did turn down service. They had the little breakfast cart that would come around. All you had to do was push a button on the phone and it'd come to your house. And it had every kind of breakfast cereal, snack bar, whatever. They gave us a video camera to record our visit. They even developed the film for us. They took pictures. They gave us cameras. They gave us a stroller to use so that we didn't have to buy one. Like, who gives you a camcorder to use? Like, for real. It was amazing. If you guys have $2 to rub together, it doesn't come to me, but it's called Give Kids the World in Orlando, Florida, or Kissimmee. If you are ever in the giving mood, please donate to them, because everything is donation based. All the staff members are volunteers. Nobody is on a time clock to the point where they get paid by the hour or salary. Everything was donation based. And all of the things, all of the numbers, the thousands of families that they help every month, year, whatever. Everything is free to every family that go. Their food, They even have doctors that make sure that they know about every single child that come through there. So if one of those kids are sick and something happened, there's a team of doctors that know and is ready to be there at your beck and call for your child. That is all God, y'all. I'm here to tell you. We can donate to all kinds of stuff, but programs like that, and I'm going to be honest with you. The color of my skin, we don't get treated like that often. So when Corey got diagnosed, and I'm telling you, from the time he got diagnosed, that night in the emergency room, y'all. Hey, Diane, it did something to me because not only did he fight off the medicine, it took us the longest to get him to take the medicine. And the nurse was so patient. So then we finally got it all in him. They took us around to the CAT scan room. He fought it off. They gave him a bottle. He went to sleep, got the image. Ashley and Janae had fallen asleep in the room that he was in. Do you know they gave us another room and left them in that room sleep? So you know how busy the emergency room get. They didn't wake them up. They took us to another room and let us sit there. Then they came back and showed me his image and told me that it was a mass and that they was going to keep him in the hospital. At this point, I don't know what I felt and what I thought. I froze. I froze. I don't know. But when we got ready to go upstairs, they went and got Ashley and Janae and all of our stuff, and they took us upstairs. And even the day that he had surgery, he had 2 hospital rooms, y'all. I'm not bragging. I'm talking about how God do things. The color of my skin and what I knew was in my bank account and what wasn't, I couldn't afford that. They gave us 2 hospital rooms. He had one on the oncology floor and one on the heart hospital floor. The pediatric cardiology floor. 2. My kids was upstairs. We were downstairs. We had 2 rooms. And he had that room downstairs until he got to the point where they felt like he was ready to go back up. They had food, drinks, everything that we needed. They supplied the need. God supplied the need. The next one was the day of surgery. When they brought him back to the room, Corey was awake talking to us. And they told us he might be on a ventilator, right? He came out, y'all. He just had the oxygen in his nose. Nobody but God. He was split open from here all the way around. He had a bandage across him, y'all. Like, seriously. And he had a piece of, like a little board covering up all of his IVs in his arms so he couldn't, and kept his arm straight so that he couldn't pull it out. He's laying in my lap talking. He said, I'm gonna bust you, Darian. And Darian came and leaned over. He was like, man, you can't do nothing. You all bandaged up and stuff. You can't do nothing. He took his arm like that and he said, whop, and he hit him. And we all laughed. He said, I'm gonna bust you, Darian. And he meant it. Okay? This is 2 hours after being cut open, y'all. Like, for real. Seriously. While we're there, the door opens. There was a doctor came in that I had never seen before. A doctor came in and he said, you know, I'm Dr. So-and-so, and I was just in the operating room with your son. And I had to come by and tell you guys what we just witnessed. He did so well. He said, we are all in awe. He said, when I tell you in awe, he said, when I tell you that everybody all over this hospital is talking about your child. I was like, I couldn't fathom that. My mind couldn't wrap around it. Amen. He said, no. All the doctors, nurses, everybody is talking about your child. He said how well he did. Like, you just don't know what we witnessed. And I don't know. That doctor said it out of his mouth. You don't know what we just witnessed. I knew when that doctor told me that she couldn't explain it, there was a part of me that knew this was so much bigger than what Corey was going through. This was so much bigger than what he was going through. So much bigger than what he was going through. And that doctor confirmed it. And while he was in the operating room, y'all, the anesthesiologist, the excuse me, she called me. She called the room. She said, I wanted to call and let you know that he was doing okay. I'm right here. I'm standing above his head. He's breathing fine. There's nothing going on. Everything is fine. His vitals are fine. And you could hear the machine beeping in the background. Ooh, that kind of gave me the creeps, you know. But to know that she did that, and I know they do it, probably do it for all the kids that's having surgery. But to call in the middle of an operation, they were working on him to let me know that he was fine. And then that doctor come in after that, and he said, I just wanted to come and see for myself how well he was doing. And at this point, Corey was sitting in my lap. I got a video on my channel of me literally sitting with him in my lap, or it might be a video or a picture, right after surgery, in my lap in the recliner chair. So he said, I'm not going to keep you, but I'm going to come back and check on y'all later. He came back. He had another doctor with him. It was a lady. And she said, I've been hearing about this baby, Corey Richardson, all over the hospital. She said, I had to come and see for myself. I had to come see for myself. Y'all, I don't know what God did to these people. I don't know what he did, but I thank him. I give him all the glory. I'll never know. But just to hear that, seriously. And do you realize the doctor that did his surgery retired right after that? She did. Her name was Dr. Dokler. She had been doing it for, I think she said 35 years. Not long after that, she retired. Because when I took him back to the hospital, I always like to go and visit the different departments that we went to. Even with Jaylen, when I always took her back to the NIC unit. I may take her one day up there to see if any of the nurses are still working there. But I would take her for maybe 5 years after that. To visit. Just for her to, for her to just see where she came from. Yes, so just to give y'all a little update of some of the things that I've gone through, and I was feeling so excited and emotional today about Corey. He's getting ready to turn 16 on Friday, and his birthday list, y'all, was, he said, Mama, all the things that I never got, I put on my list. All the things that he's always wanted that he never got. And at one point, how you doing? How you doing, Terrell? And at one point, he was not old enough for a Wii, okay? He wanted a Wii, and he was not old enough for it. And at that time, I couldn't afford that. And so he put a Wii game on his list and different games he wanted to go with that. He wanted a new lava lamp. He wants some Sonic clothing. He likes merch, okay? And he wanted some games for his Xbox. And he want to go to Dave & Buster's for his birthday. That's what he wants to do. And he wrote a list, and he went and taped it to my wall in my bedroom. And yeah, I mean, it's just little things. It's not a whole lot. And he hardly ever asks for anything. The most thing he'll ask for is he wants some V-Bucks, or what them things, Robux, something like that, for Fortnite, and for, I don't even think he play Roblox no more. So for Fortnite, that's all he asked for. That's it. And he wants some Haribo gummies, some Airheads, barbecue potato chips, or plain Lay's potato chips. And he likes peach soda, orange soda, and Sprite, and water, and green Gatorade. Those are the things that he'll ask for. Like if I said, well, Corey, I'm going to the grocery store. Is it anything you want? He'll say, can you get, oh, and chicken nuggets and seasoned French fries. That's all be on his list. He'll ask for greens. Mom, can I have greens and chicken Sunday? Um, so he just asks for those kind of things. Like, yes, he loves the McDonald's fries. He do, but he know we not going out and buy McDonald's fries every day. So he asks for things that he can cook himself in the air fryer. So I get the big bag of seasoned fries, or either he'll say, "Daddy, can I have the special fries?" The special fries is Daddy cuts the potatoes and deep fry him some French fries, and he season them. You know, yeah. Um, Hold on, y'all. Yeah. So just a little bit of an update. This is not a I want you to feel sorry for me video or anything like that, but just an update because I usually talk about it on my other channel or whatever. But it hit me today that this is my original channel. This is where it all started. And some of you may still be here from when that happened. And I can at least come and give y'all an update. How you doing, Brother Edward? I can at least come and give y'all an update. Um, he's doing okay. Praise God. He doesn't have to go back for a little while unless something starts to go wrong. Like he starts to feel bad or whatnot. That's the only time that we have to take him. He had his oncology visit not long ago, and I think I have the video of me taking him. And I said, it reminded me of old times, the two of us riding on the way to the doctor. And we those visits are few and far between now. Um, and I thank God. Thank you, Lord. So my prayer is for any mother, father, grandmother, auntie, cousin who's dealing with a child that has an illness, whether it's terminal or not. I pray for your mental health. I pray for your heart. I pray that God will give you peace. I know he'll give you strength. I pray that he continue to use people to be a blessing to you, to help you on your way mentally, physically, financially. Because a child that's sick, that's a big financial strain, y'all. Not really a strain, but it's a financial um concern that you have because medicine can be expensive. Corey has to have an EpiPen because of his severe allergies, and EpiPens cost a few $100s for just one. And some insurance companies are now no longer paying for it. So that's money that the parents have to find to pay for medication. And if your children, like I have two children right now that needs an EpiPen, Corey and Mia, both have severe allergies that they need an EpiPen, and that's expensive, you know. And I hope and pray that more people will pay attention to their family members that have children that have illnesses, and that they be willing to help financially because it's needed. It's so needed. I'm so serious because that's a strain. It really is, to worry about how you're going to pay for medication. It really is. So if you guys know of any of your family members or your friends that have children that have illnesses, ask what can you do. And like sometimes it's not just asking what you can do, but taking it upon yourself too. When you know the kids eat certain things, or just go out and buy some things, take a little bit of that off of their shoulder, because it can get rough. It really can. Because I look back over these past 12 years and I know without a shadow of a doubt, I don't care what nobody say, God has been good to us. He has been good to us. When I tell you they gave us advocates. Hey, Diana Adams. Oh, Ooh. Hey, Diane. Y'all, my ears are itching. That's my allergies. Um, the way he provided when I could not see. I'm serious. When I could not see at all, didn't know where it was gonna come. I know God in heaven is real. I do. But the flesh, when you want to see where it's coming from, you want to be able to do it yourself. You know what I mean? But the blessing is when your hands are tied. That's just like people tell you all the time, don't talk about your problems. Well, how do you get help if you don't tell somebody what's going on? I could tell God about it. I can't. But how do you testify? How do you let people know what God has brought you from if you don't talk about it? How do you let people know what God is carrying you through if you don't open your mouth and say something? How can you let people know what you're going through? Like they look at you but don't know that you going through such and such, and to know that if you going through it and you can still push through like this, and I'm right there with you, that we can do this if you don't say something. Hi Marilyn, how are you? God bless you too, sweet pea. How do you do that? How do you do that? Hey Annie Boo. Hey Miss Stacks, how are you? Miss you too, boo. I can't see y'all comments. Let me see. I have to look on my other phone. Y'all see I got y'all on the TV back there. I was trying to get ready. I was gonna go. My mom sent her clothes over here for me to wash them for her, and I had made some turkey wings and turkey tips today because she said she wanted some, and I was gonna surprise her, and I was gonna surprise her and take them to her, but it got to be kind of late. Now we had an issue with the nursing facility telling us, you can't come after visiting hours. Well, from what I was told, yes, you can. The family can come in anytime, day or night. That there's no cutoff time for that. Well, because we had that. Hey, the Renault family, how you doing? I said I wasn't gonna go up there because I didn't want to have to act ugly. I was just not in the mood that I was going. I wasn't sure I was gonna act right. Okay. So I called my mom. I was like, what do I have to do? I have your clothes. Can I just bring them? She said, well, let me ask my nurse first. So she asked, I guess the nurse told the CNA, no, we can't come visit, but we can drop the stuff off. Now, I know I heard from someone higher up that, yes, you can. I was not in the mood to argue with them tonight. So I said, you know what, Mom, I'll just bring it sometime tomorrow. And because I know Galen got to go to work and some other things got to happen. We got to have the car looked at tomorrow. Didn't know how long it was going to take. And I know that's going to have to be in the late afternoon. I don't want them looking at the car and then we can't get over there before they start acting a fool. Okay. So I got frustrated about that and a few other things. And then I was sitting here and I said, and I thought about it's just been on me all day. the blessing in here's 12 years later. And I said, well, let me hit the button because I know it helps me feel better sometimes when I come and talk to you guys. And because I can get it out, I can really say how I feel. And instead of just holding it in to myself. And so that's what I did. I hit the button to come and give y'all that little update and to pour out my heart about how I'm feeling about this day. Um, and to look at my baby. And that's why I called him in here to see if, you know, give y'all his reaction to what's going on with him. And of course, he's not one that has a lot of words. Now, when it's something he's passionate, but when he's got to think about what he's going through, I don't know if that's easy for him or not. He hasn't quite told me yet that, mama, that bothers me or anything like that, because if it ever bothers him, I will definitely not ask him that again, or put him in front of the camera, because I'm forever putting him on the spot. And he just laughed. Well, thank you, Quee. Um, Thank you so much for that. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a good evening. It is What Would Jesus Do Wednesday. hmm And just think about what would Jesus do, y'all. Whatever situation you in, what would Jesus do? And that's what made me change my mind about going up there, because you got one over here and one over here, and I was trying not to give in to that one that I was trying to listen to the one that tell you to do right. Well, I hope you feel better, Nasir. My allergies bother me too. The back of my throat itching and my ear is itching. This ear is itching me something awful. Ooh, just doing that. I'm trying to scratch it. It won't stop itching. Oh my gosh. Mm. Right, I'm trying to scratch it like at the back of my throat. Baby, it's not working. It's not working at all. But once again, I don't know if um I'm gonna record. I'll probably go live on my other channel. That's if Corey wants to, or I may just record. Um, I know sometimes you guys like to join us with different events like that. Um, that's if you guys are interested. Y'all have to let me know on my community page. I'm gonna post a picture about Corey today, and y'all just let me know if y'all wanna. Do you? I do still make jewelry. I do. That was irritating me, hanging like that. Ooh, at least make it look a little neater. Goodness. Mm. I do still make jewelry. But yeah, it is 10:46. Oh my gosh. Hi, Kim. How are you? Yeah. And you know what? These are all my clothes. Like, for every season. Just think about some people that put their clothes up for the winter. I don't have that privilege because we don't have winters like that. So these are every season that we have. These are my clothes right here. Okay, winter, spring, summer, fall, whatever you want to call them. This is it. So yeah, this is it. You know how people take their stuff and put them in the attic. Good to see you too, Ladybug. I don't have an attic to put them in. I don't have, so they on this shelf. And yeah, that's it. I don't talk, so my lips dry. I mean, hush, right? The chapped lips. But yeah, my mama gave me her list of stuff she want at the nursing facility. And I got everything off of her list. Everything off her list. She wanted lotion, hair oil, so I gave her a bottle of my castor oil. Oh, one thing I didn't get was her wipes. I'm glad I looked at this list. She wanted the air freshener. Um, she wanted the turkey necks. So, and she wanted body wash. And she was specific. She wanted some Dove body wash. Lots of birthdays coming up. My daddy just celebrated his 78th on Monday, March 9th. Oh, happy belated birthday to him. God bless him. And he still works every day. Look at that. Okay. Well, you know, lots of birthdays. Corey's birthday is Friday. Janae's birthday is Saturday. And G's birthday is Sunday. So, yeah. Every year it's the same thing. Janae wants us to go to breakfast for her birthday. And her and Siobhan, they'll do something. My youngest just turned 21. Oh, happy birthdays to him, Sugar Cookie. Yeah, back to back. And then on the 28th is Darian. Hi, Kiki. I came on the part when you saying something about Corey. Yeah, he's okay. I came on because today marks 12 years that he's cancer free. And in 2 days, it'll be his 16th birthday. So I told him, I say, son, you have a double blessing, a double thing to celebrate the week of your birthday. Every year that you live, you need to celebrate both of them because you were free from one thing, okay? One of our sons turns 21 on the 26th. Oh, yes, today he is. My godfather, heavenly birthday is March 14th. Wow, look at that. Yeah, y'all buddy G. I know that's right. Always be your baby. Always be your baby. I I don't know if I ever told y'all that Corey has a little. I haven't updated it in a long while, y'all. I haven't, but I'm gonna do something today. But he has a page on Facebook called Koki, Kokie apostrophe S World. He's got a few followers over there, but it's just little bits and pieces of his journey. So um if y'all are squeamish about some things, y'all please tell me not to show this. But um this is, I did this one in 2022. I'm so thankful God let me see another birthday last. Oh, well, happy belated birthday. Oh my goodness. So when I tell you guys that at some point this is the tumor right here that was in him, okay? That's the tumor that was in him. This is after chemo. This is 6 weeks later. I don't know if y'all could tell the size difference. But that is after chemo, well, before chemo, and then this is after it got bigger. This was the night that they admitted him into the hospital in the emergency room. This was him. One night he got sick and he spiked a fever, and I had to take him to the hospital. This was after they put the port in that week. They this was during that week. Let's see. This was um December 7th, 2013. This was a few days after surgery. This was during that week. Okay. This was him. This was on that Thursday. This was after surgery. So that was then. I got a video of his first day of school. I don't know why my phone tripping. Okay, let me see. This was what I was talking about, him getting the bag of fluid. We used to have to sit in that room until it dripped. That's that day. This was him going for his treatment. You see, he did not like that. He knew what it was going to feel like. See that little lump on his chest? That's his port. And they had to stick a needle in that. They would have, see, she's cleaning it off. It's alcohol. She would put numbing cream on it. We would have to sit for 30 minutes. And then she would come and clean it off like that. And she's going to stick a needle in it. And that's how she used to have to give him his medicine. Ooh, he hated it because it hurt. Because it was an actual piece of plastic up under his skin. I still have it over there on my desk. They took it out, cleaned it, and they gave it to me as a souvenir. See, she just put it in there. And now she's drawing some blood to give him the medicine. He did not like that. He did not like that at all. And I can understand. Because it's easy for people to say, oh, stop crying or don't do this. But if you're not sitting in that chair having to deal with that, this is how they give him his, they look at his kidneys and things like that from, I know, I do too. And all of these videos are on my YouTube channel. See, this is when so April 23rd of 2014, that's when they took his port out. That's his port. So I recorded that. Amen, sugar cookie. That is so right. So right. And it's like I'm rehashing old things, but just to show you guys where he's come from, like what God has done. This is at Give Kids the World for his birthday, that dream trip that I told you guys about. We stayed for a week. They had a cake made for him, and the lady brought it. She came from out of town and drove to Orlando or Kissimmee to deliver that cake to him. And that's the cake that he said he wanted, a minion cake. And this is in the village. That's the mayor and his wife. They were two rabbits that they would come around and just fellowship with the kids and tuck them in bed at night and read stories to them, all kind of things. And this is, we would eat breakfast in this place. This was our house that we stayed in for that week. That was our house we stayed in for a week. When I say they gave us a house, baby, they gave us a whole house and had our name on the address, okay? On the house. And that's all of us standing in front of the house. When I tell you, I just, but when I tell you proof is in the pudding, proof is in the pudding. Proof is in the pudding, baby. I'm looking for another picture. This one he started losing his hair, his eyebrows, his eyelashes. Thank you. Thank you. He had a many of these days, like he would come home and be sick afterwards. Hey, Mama Nita. I am. How are you? See, his hair had started growing back right there. Little peach fuzz up there. We used to call him Obama. Because he had that pretty hair. It was so soft. This was one night I had to take him to the emergency room because he started having a slight fever. And if his temperature is over 1 or 2 degrees, you had to take him. And they didn't play about that. So they was given to trying to find out what was going on, what was causing him. And that's one thing I don't think some people realize. When children are dealing with illnesses like that, where their immune system is compromised, you really have to be careful. You really do. You really have to be careful. These are his, he would have to have echocardiograms, ultrasounds. He still have that, but not as often. Just a look back for all of you that are new, that were not here for a part of the process. I got a video. They were taking him to have a CAT scan, y'all. And they had given him some medicine to relax him, and he was so loopy. That thing was so funny. But I knew that I could not watch him do that. And this was one day they were putting him back in the bed, Galen and Darian. They were trying to get him to walk, trying to get him to use his legs, see if he had his movement back in his legs after, because he had an epidural in his back. And yeah, his birthday is Friday. This was after surgery, what I told y'all. Amen, JP. This was right after surgery, and they put him in my lap. This is what I mean by he was breathing on his own. He had just a little oxygen in his nose. That's that. He was out of bed and in my lap. Now, this is the one that might be a little graphic, you guys. So if y'all can't see it, please close your eyes. I'm gonna show you. But this is the doctor literally in the operating room taking it out. Okay. I've shown this to y'all plenty of times, but some of you may not have seen it. But if you look at how big that thing is, she could not hold it with one hand. That's her taking it out. This whole thing is the tumor. That's how big. Can you imagine a 3-year-old with something that big inside of him? This was right after surgery. He woke up. That was him right after they had brought him in. That was December 4th. And this was him when they had just brought him in the room. Yes, it's huge. They had just brought him in the room out of the operating room right here. And this was him. They were taking him to the operating room right here. And he has a page on Facebook called Koki's World. KOKIESWORLD. Koki's World. If you guys want to subscribe and follow, it's just old updates. I'm gonna start. This was the day we went to the hospital for him to have surgery. And this was the old Corey, y'all. For those that have been here, he used to sit in that high chair and eat his food. He put that collard green juice in that hole where you put your cup. That was him. That was his thing in that high chair. Look at him. This when he had lost his hair. Look at him. Ain't had a bit of hair on his head. Look, he talking to somebody. Let me see. I love you too, Corey. Blow kisses. Wait. Say, hey, Auntie Betty.
Hey, Auntie Betty.
Hey, Auntie Barbara.
Hey, Auntie Papa.
Say, hey, Uncle Eddie.
Hey, Uncle Eddie.
Say, I love you.
I love you, Mommy.
Say, I love you.
I love you, Mommy.
I love you too, Corey. Blow kisses.
Mwah.
And peace.
Peace.
Auntie Barbara and Betty and Uncle Eddie, he think he talking to y'all on the phone.
And she Betty, Uncle. You should do that. You right, say. You to figure out the man. You give a trash and figure out the man.
I love y'all. Did y'all understand what he just said? He said that's Yo Gabba Gabba on Xfinity on demand. Now, if y'all heard that little gibberish before that, that's what he started doing after he started taking chemo. Like his words wouldn't come out. It was gibberish. You know, like a toddler would talk gibberish. Some of his words were like that. We couldn't understand him, and some of them we could.
I said this. Oh my goodness! Hey, look.
What you see?
Remote.
The remote.
Remote.
What you gonna watch with the remote?
Get the fighter.
You gonna fall?
Yeah. Hey, Mommy.
Yes.
It's a donut.
You want a donut? You gonna go up front and eat your donut?
Yeah.
Here.
Thank you, Mommy.
You're welcome, baby. See you later, okay?
Okay.
Go to the table. Bye, Corey.
Bye.
Bye, y'all. Oh, and you see, I'm eating my strawberry. Oh, my God. I'm going to share that on my page. And it's
Let me
good,
see, wait a
too.
minute.
Bye, Sooga.
Hold on.
Say, hey, Auntie Betty.
Hey, Auntie Betty.
Hey,
Hold on,
Auntie
y'all.
Barbara.
Hey, Auntie Papa.
Say, hey, Uncle Eddie.
Hey, Uncle Eddie.
Say, I love you.
I love you, Mommy.
Say, I love you.
I love you, Mommy.
I love you too, Corey.
I gotta share that one. I gotta show that to him.
Kisses.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Look at these three. The Three Stooges. Curly, Larry, and Moe was always into something. He used to wear those donuts out. And that's just the thing about it, y'all. Like, he delivered him from a lot of things, because Corey, at one point, he couldn't have anything with wheat in it also, along with his food allergies. And so when he got to where he could eat those donuts, that was his thing. And he, you know what, right now to this day, he don't eat those donuts. Those powdered donuts, he won't eat them. He don't ask for them, nothing. This is another treatment day. He was sitting there getting his treatment through the IV. It was in his port. They had him already hooked up. And we used to have to sit there for hours until that thing was done. So yeah, I reminisced enough and talked to you guys about what's going on with him. He's doing really good. Praise God. If you He ate those donuts that he can't. He don't even ask for them. But if you go to Facebook and you type in KOKIE'(s), 2 words, Cokies World, this is the picture that you'll see of the two of us. If you decide to follow, and y'all leave me a comment if you don't mind. That channel is not monetized. It's just for people to follow, and you can see some of his journey. This was. Say I'm in X-ray. He had to have an X-ray this day. And we'll keep you posted. Keep you posted. Book kiss. And we'll be back, y'all. I don't know if y'all can tell, but at this point, the chemotherapy medicine can cause neuropathy, right? And so it got to the point where he couldn't open his eyes like this. He always looked like Mr. Magoo. He couldn't he couldn't raise his eyelids. So this was one night he got sick and we had to take him to the emergency room. And that's them accessing his port to give him medicine and to take blood to see what's going on. That was them on Halloween. That's us at Dave & Buster's. That's why he liked Dave & Buster's. He loved and we had shirts made. Corey was kicking cancer's butt. And we had the shirts for sale. Some people did buy some shirts. My, what a ride. 12 years. And this is one day we went to the mall and he wanted to do it. We didn't think he was going to actually do it, but he actually did it. He's on the little bungee jump thing. This was after treatment one day and all of us were together. And it was like I can't remember how many hours after his treatment. He would be fine up until a certain point, but like 30 minutes before it was time for his nausea medicine, he would get sick. Thank you, Lord. He's so much fun. He did like it. And that's the thing. We didn't think he would, but he actually did it. But he wouldn't let the man take him too high, though. So this is also one of the visits when they were doing the treatment and he had a CAT scan.
Okay.
This is what it looked like before.
That's before.
And this is now.
And this is after. Wow.
Okay.
Oh my word.
So it's.
Oh, that's before.
That's before.
This is the tumor here.
Yep.
That's before.
This is now.
And that is after.
See how much it had small? It got how small it got.
It's probably less than half the volume, actually.
Oh my goodness.
It had gotten half the size.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
So just imagine Yeah, but just imagine after his last treatment, right? They gave him 6 weeks in between his last treatment and the date for them to schedule his surgery. It grew back within those 6 weeks. So you see how much it was, literally half the size on this that it was from the beginning. And this was, let me see, do it say what day this was? This was December, I think it was December 4th. Unless that's the day I uploaded it. But it had gotten down to half the size. Tell me about it. In spite of, and this was one day at the hospital, we were getting,
And I just came to say.
this was the day that they were taking him back and they had given him the medicine and made him loopy. Look at that. Look at his head bobbing and weaving. He was going for CAT scan at that point. And it always touched me how hands-on they were with these kids. Pure Eye Candy, I met her here on YouTube. And this is the day her and Pink Sugar Mama came to visit after Corey's treatment one Friday. They came and hung out with me. Okay, y'all, I done took y'all down the rabbit hole long enough, but I just wanted to come and share that with you guys, that it's been 12 years and he's still doing okay. Yeah, we met some really amazing people during this time. What is it? This was week 5 of chemo. Oh, I posted the YouTube video. Oh, my word. This was the day the military visited the hospital and brought all the kids gifts. Corey had been, he had a biopsy done. And they come around and bring all the kids gifts. Yes, God is so good. I could sit back and just keep looking at this because the more I scroll, the more hey, how you doing? I see different videos.
That's the medicine, the red medicine, which is.
Okay, this is one of them.
Okay, guys, we're almost done. Say hello.
He was singing one of his favorite songs.
Almost done.
The Black
Got
Eyed
a few to
Peas.
go. That's the medicine, the red medicine, which is the doxorubicin.
Doxorubicin,
And
okay.
he had that entire thing to take, and he is almost done. So he got 2 medicines today. He received vincristine and doxorubicin. And look at what Corey's eating. Y'all, they give him cookies to eat. Look at them. Sugar cookies. Was it good, Corey? Say good cookie.
Good cookie.
He's watching The Cat in the Hat. He's already been playing. But then I hope you guys are enjoying your day. I love you all. Bye, Sooga.
Yes, they are. And I hadn't seen him in a very long time. I'm scrolling through his page now. So I see Valerie Granville and a few other people that posted videos. They had a day they called Flood the Feed. CC Brown, Retro Diva Jones. Um, a lot of people that did videos to support our family. And yeah. So y'all always remember September is Childhood Cancer Month. Okay? Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Y'all still here? Yeah, he loved SpongeBob and Despicable Me, and he used to sing that song by the Black Eyed Peas. Literally, that's the song that we had to sing. Hey, Quiet Queen, how you doing? I'm getting ready to get off, but I came over to just, hey, Karen, update everybody that today makes 12 years that Corey has been cancer free, and that he will be 16 in 2 days. And for those that had not been a part of this channel when we shared all of that information, I kind of went back and gave a little testimony of what our journey was like. Of course, you know, I'm a crybaby, and I did that. And I reminisced and went to his page and just shared, just so you people, so you all could get a. Now that's one word I do not like. The words I don't like to put together. You people. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry for saying that because I can't stand that. You people. Ooh. For you all to just get a little glimpse into what our world was like at that point and how far he's come. All the clothes in the background looks like a store. Let me know if you have a cyber sale. I sure will. I I don't have anything at the moment, but let me know like what sizes you are and or whatnot, and I sure will. You would have to email me. But this is my closet. This is my she room, and the majority of this stuff on this shelf is stuff that I had for sale that did not sell. So I've used it, of course. It goes all the way around. The only thing that I have that's not used are these handbags right here. These handbags. What else? I got a fur wrap over there. And what else? I don't know. Because see, it goes all the way around. All my junk, okay? Yeah. Karen, how you been, sweet pea? Oh, God. I went through my stash today. My mom asked me for some body wash, and she wants some body spray and room spray. So I went through my shelf over there to find her some stuff. But then she was like, I also want some Dove. That's wonderful. It's good to see you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this little lump right here is stuff I got to put up. But other than that, yeah. Just been busy. I understand. I understand. Did you have her some? Yes. I got her basket up front. I already washed her clothes. She had Janae drop her clothes off to me, so I already washed her clothes and got those hung up. I got to get my other hangers back from her. But I got her basket already. I made turkey wings tonight because she wanted some turkey wing pieces. And I baked some turkey wings. Ooh. Chinese food. But here's her little basket right here. I gotta find. Do y'all know where I can find adult skid-proof socks? So she got this one that hydrate. This one says Fresh Care. I got a bottle of castor oil. Corey, push mute on that TV for me, please. I got a bottle of Nivea lotion. And then I had some of my Bath and Body Works stuff. I got a watermelon scented one. And a body wash. And a body spray. And a room spray. Huh?
Usually spring break starts on my birthday.
Mm-hmm. You know when it starts this year? When?
You
On your birthday? Oh. So you got 3 blessings this week, huh? You go on spring break. Oh, get it, buddy.
well, you fancy free, and now my birthday.
Look at him.
And it's on spring break.
What you say, bud? Look how he's spinning in his chair.
Hey guys. Don't mind me. I'm just sitting here.
What you say?
My birthday is in 2 more days.
Your birthday in 2 more days.
And spring break starts there, and I'm 12 years cancer free.
He's saying spring break starts there and he's 12 years cancer free. So he got 3 things to celebrate. One at a time, if it's God's will. I done messed up and put that chair in the middle of the floor like that. Because between him and AJ, they'll spin the wheels off of that doggone chair. Look at him. Oh, gosh. They saying, hey, bud.
Hey guys.
Huh? If I come on the other live between now, if I can't go to sleep tonight, I hit the button. And you seen that spin? Lou said they need some more jokes. So if I go back on live, so you think about some jokes, not now, but later on, okay? How you doing, Chill Will? Look at him. He like that. He'll have me dizzy around here. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. She said she love your laugh, bud.
Well, thanks.
What you getting? French fries? What you getting? Noodles. He in there fixing noodles, child. Yeah. That's right up his alley. But y'all, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. If I can't go to sleep tonight, I may come in, just chit-chat with y'all. Because knowing him, he'll still be awake. Thank you, Tania. Same to you. Chill Will, I was telling them that Corey got a birthday coming up Friday, and that today made 12 years he's cancer-free. Good night, Mama Nita. Okay. Okay, let me see. Right quick before I hang up. For those of you, okay, that are Quiet Queen, Karen, did I miss anybody? Marietta. If I miss saying hello to you, can y'all please say me? Sugar Cookie, Mama Nita, Cindy Lou. Oh, Eloise. Hey, Sooga. I don't know if she's still here. My Glow, Kim, 77JP, Brother Edward, Nilla Jean, Ernestine, Nephew Nasir. I don't see anybody I missed so far. Good night. Love, peace, and Blue Duchess Agrees. Good night, Trace. Love y'all. Peace and blessings.